cleaned it up and prepared it.
Yeah, it's a public hearing, I'm indicating it'll be a civil action rather than a criminal.
Okay.
I mean, if the idea is to get it off and they donate it to a charity, it's not there. So why,
Case closed.
yeah, well, it's not clear from this is written.
What if I want to sell my child's car, he's down in Tampa, or maybe he doesn't want to sell it right away? He's coming back in a year and I want to keep it on the lot,
Fill out the
there's
form.
no problem with it. What if I put a tarp on it and you can't see the plate, you don't know what's going on with it? And one of those winter covers,
I think that's it.
It's in here, yeah,
you guys got everything.
yeah, it's in here.
You know, I mean, children go away to college,
Yeah,
okay? You don't want to insure the car that's in your driveway. So
there was
the
a
form
form.
would be able to be filled out to let the board know that this is what's happening.
And would the person be informed before they were ticketed? Like saying, you have,
Well, I think you
hand them the letter of law
I
and say,
think
this is
it would
what you
be up
can
to
do.
the owner of the car to come in to say, I'm going away to college. They're going away to college, okay? And here's the form, I'll see you next year. And
That's what
when
I'm
I come
gonna-
back from college, I'm going to insure the car, register the car, and drive the car.
Why wouldn't the police officer on his first time around give out a
And a lot of
description of
times-
what can be done
A
instead
lot
of
of
ticketing?
times they do, even on the winter parking, they issue a warning the first time. You know,
I never got one, so.
November 1st, huh?
I never got one, so I don't know what they do.
Well, so, but I'm telling you, a lot of times they issue a warning first, and then if the same car is there November 10th, you're gonna start getting summonses.
All right,
We all live in the same community.
Yeah, we're not.
I understand. I just figured that a warning is easier to get a ticket right away and come in before you guys and discuss it and.
Yeah, and I never got a warning before I got a ticket, so, and I had a seizure, I was in the hospital, so, he's got a point there.
Well, I have a question for, pardon the pun, the mechanics of this. If you were to seize a car, you would hire which towing company to move the vehicle? Where would the vehicle be stored? And if it's at a towing company or an impound lot, would the owner of that car then incur daily storage fees? Would damage to the vehicle, X, Y, and Z? Can you walk me through that?
Well, what would happen if a car was illegally parked in front of a fire hydrant? That's towed away,
Right?
and the car is damaged on the way to
Mhm.
wherever it's going.
Right.
What happens with that?
I don't, but what about the fact that it's being?
I'm asking the question with, I'm answering your question with the question.
Well, I can answer a question with a question too, but I'd like to answer my question. And here's a scenario. Car's on private property, the village grabs it, takes off site. Who's gonna tow it? That's my first question.
Okay, we
And
have,
the answer is,
we have to look for towing companies.
do you have assigned towing companies?
We do not have that.
That's number one. Number two, where would it be taken? To said company's lot for storage?
The expense of such removal, storage, and sale or disposal, including the cost of this proceeding, shall be charged to the vehicle owner and the property owner, and/or property owner, and may be charged against the property. And if unpaid, such charge may be assessed, levied, and collected in the same manner as a real property tax.
That's what I'm
So
asking.
even if it was delivered to Mickey Biggs,
Well,
yep, well, then they're gonna pay for storage, but that's,
Are you gonna put any type of a cap on those storage fees, or are you gonna let
No.
the owner charge whatever he feels like charging?
no, it's very easy to prevent those storage fees, is get rid of the car.
I know, but certain situations, certain people.
And I don't think there's gonna be 100 of those, or 10 of them even.
Mhm.
You know, and maybe, just maybe, they come to the board and they explain what's happening. Like I said earlier, it's the same community, okay?
I just pray the board.
We're listening.
I'm not
This
saying-
board, believe it or not, this board is listening to people, not just hearing them. We actually listen, okay?
Yeah, you ought to look at Blooming Grove, because Blooming Grove does have approved towers, and they go through a process of determining it.
You have a rotation.
We do too.
Huh?
We
Well,
have a
you just indicate you don't have it.
Yeah, we do.
Well,
Well,
and-
just maybe.
And liability insurance, and remove minimum liability insurance, and,
Yeah.
and other issues, so you do have
Who's on that?
approved towers.
Yeah, Ralph's.
Russell would,
Ralph.
Russell would.
Yeah. And that's, every year we
Every
renew
day
they
them?
rotate.
Yeah, they have, well, every day it's a different,
Yeah.
So,
Right,
but
but
they
we
have to have
renew
it.
them, so if there was damages to cars, we
they
really
have to
don't
have
want them
insurance
towing
just to be
cars.
on our tow
They're
list.
insured.
Okay.
The question I
So I
think is,
I misspoke to say that we don't have it.
is that
Accept my apologies.
All right.
if it's going to a lot,
Mhm.
or is it gonna be, because I know we had some discussion, maybe we would store it at our DPW, but the liability of that and the time that it could sit there is just as dangerous. But, you know, I don't remember what they charge, but these lots, I mean, if you had a car accident, it sits there, you're getting $100 a day at least. So that adds up really quick.
Yes, it
So,
is.
yeah.
What about insurance? Because for instance, Geico has its own qualified towers. So if you indicate to them that the car is quote abandoned or whatever, is that going to be done by a Village of Washingtonville or by a Geico tower?
It's off our village tow list. So it would either be Rouse or Woodcock.
But you're not going to give the person the right to have Geico tow. I
If
mean,
they have
that's usually
Geico
what-
insurance.
If
then
Geico has
they'd
the
be one
insurance,
thing,
then basically they want to tow.
but I don't know if they have Allstate or State Farm or whatever.
If they don't have plates and a registration, they probably don't have insurance.
So the towers for Geico, basically, towers for Geico
Well, that's what I'm saying, you're saying if the
are-
person has Geico insurance, but if that car is not insured, Geico is not gonna insure that car, is not gonna tow that car.
Yeah, but we're talking about where Geico has insured it, like for instance, you're indicating.
For an abandoned car, they would insure a car without license plates and registration.
Well, you were indicating also inspection issues also, so that's why I'm bringing that
I
up.
said it's registration and license plates, never said inspection yet.
Also, for instance, Geico sometimes it's like 6-month increments, so the car's like 1/3 of the way, 1/3 of the way through.
There's a million different scenarios.
Yeah, I know, you're right, you're writing a one-size-fits-all,
Well,
and I don't think
yeah,
it
but
really
if we
thought it
don't have,
out.
there's not enough ink to print all this in there.
And maybe it's not that important to do in the first place, then to pay all the legal fees on it.
Well, we have,
I know, you're elected, so you can do what you want.
well, no, don't ever think that we can do what we want, okay? So I'll accept your apologies for that, okay?
Well, within your jurisdiction.
We have to clean up the village. Okay, the village has been allowed to just do whatever they had to do. Okay, because no one paid attention. You now have a board that's paying attention. Okay, and are we going to be right all the time? Maybe not. Okay, but it's great discussions that we're having right now. It's a discussion that has never happened as long as I've lived up here. Okay, so it's positive, right? We're just looking to clean up the abandoned cars, and if they don't have insurance, the insurance company's not towing it. Yes, sir.
As a general rule, when you seize a vehicle for violation of law, you are basically impounding it. And then therefore, generally, you're gonna go off your police tow list when you do that. How you guys function your police tow list up here, I'm not familiar with it, but as a general rule, you don't give somebody a choice when you're impounding their vehicle.
Of who they want to
For
tow.
25 years, if I've impounded a vehicle, it's the next record off the list for an impound. And that's basically it. And then whatever insurances or whatever they're required to have by Orange County law, or Orange County requires it, or Rockland County is very tough with what they require the towing companies to have. That's generally how it works. If they break or damage the car, the tow company's gonna be liable for it. Hopefully they have the insurance to cover that.
Thank you. Yes,
On the positive thing,
well, that's good.
you talk about, and I can see where somebody, family member is gonna have someone in the military
Right.
go off, and they wanna hang on to their car, they don't wanna be injured. Would it be advantageous to put this on your website, that these forms are available, and please come and list the circumstances if you're military, away, whatever, blah, blah, snowbirds, I don't know.
It's our intention to do that.
Most of the forms are gonna be on the website, so.
the website is up. It's live.
Brand new.
Right,
But we have to tweak the
And if, you
website,
know,
and
big
that's,
bold letters,
and that's
new.
where this is going. I'm sorry?
new, big bold letters, new law, new. That you have to have these forms before you can allow someone to put it unlicensed or.
We have our work cut out.
Chris,
We do.
I don't have a copy of the law in front of me, but this covers any motor vehicle or any plated vehicle?
what do you mean?
Trailer is plated,
Specific. A motor vehicle as defined in a vehicle and traffic law.
so it doesn't cover trailers.
No,
So-
no, motor vehicle is
So
something
they
like
can sit
motor.
there without a plate on them and not, this doesn't affect
The
it.
trailer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, motor vehicles include by definition motorcycles,
Yes,
snowmobiles.
anything with a motor,
Anything with a motor. Can
not
I ask you
not a
a question?
bicycle.
Was there any one thing that kind of drove this, or was it just input that you got from the community?
I drove around, I live on Patriot.
Mhm.
I drove Capitol, Congress, Decker, not all of Capitol, not all of, and I counted 10 vehicles. You don't notice them unless you look, and they're there. And some of them are really ratty.
Mhm.
It's also
Cars
coming,
don't run good on concrete blocks.
it's also input from residents. I can't tell you how many phone calls,
Mhm.
whether it's an email or whether it's a phone call.
And this will apply to people who may be operating commercial automobile repairs on residential properties?
If it fits the bill,
Mhm.
it fits whoever it fits. Anything else?
That's it. That was only 20 minutes, that one.
Terry?
Yeah, what this man said, I mean, my point was to give the person a chance, what Mr. Mayor Poco said, to have somebody tow the vehicle out of the driveway or out, rather than impounding it to begin with. I mean, that would seem to be the.
You mean the homeowner?
Huh?
The homeowner, the owner.
Yeah, so you
Okay, fine,
impound it,
that's
yeah, if you impound it, then it has to go through the village towing.
Yep.
But, you know, given that, the costs involved, the person can't afford insurance, they're certainly not gonna be able to.
Right, but it's moved.
Yeah, so, but if they can move it themselves, they have a tower, or somebody else can tow it, then basically it would let them do it, let them have the opportunity first before you impound it.
Absolutely, we don't really want the call.
Is that written in there that they're gonna have an opportunity to move it before?
It's just like the warning that Terry didn't get on his
I'm
11th
not worried
year.
about this board, I'm worried about the board 5-10 years from now.
Or the one, or the previous ward.
If they follow the way this is written, they can just go in and take the car. Or is there a
Yeah,
grace period?
they're gonna serve, the code officer's gotta serve notice.
I just-
So you're gonna
I
have
don't
that
know.
time.
So they get, I guess, a summons saying.
And you have
"Your
that,
car,
you have that
20
5
for
days,
coming."
yeah.
Okay.
Do you know something we don't know? No? Oh, okay.
But that's a valid point, because you guys may have the best intentions of the world, and there's an earthquake next week, and we're all gone, and there's a new board, and there's people who have a totally different attitude towards our residents. You know,
But
really a genuine
that's how
concern.
it always is, correct?
I realize. And so I'm wondering if you guys should you guys be the ones to adjudicate such a matter, or should it be some other committee or something?
No, it has to be,
Think
a
it's too much?
legislative body. Again, it's not something we just throw it up and wrote up. We went to the attorney and
Realize that. But, you know, as I said, you guys probably have the best of intentions. There's no doubt in my mind. But if there's a new board here in 5, 6, 8 years, as Chris pointed out, and totally different attitudes, you know, it becomes a different situation.
Well, you're
I don't know
assuming
if you'll
cars are
have
gonna
it
be
5 or 10 years.
breaking down in 6, 7, 8 years from now.
Mhm.
We don't know. Okay, make a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. So I'll read the resolution. Resolution of the Village, Washingtonville Village Board of Trustees adopting local law number 6 of 2017 with respect to creating Chapter 163 of the village code entitled Vehicles Abandoned, Junk, or Inoperable. Whereas the village board of the Village of Washingtonville wishes to create Chapter 163 of the Village Code regarding the treatment and disposition of abandoned and inoperable vehicles within the Village of Washingtonville. And whereas in connection with the proposed local law, the village board declared said code change is listed as type 2 action under section 617.5, letter C, letter 20 of the State Environmental Quality Review Act, also known as SEQA, and is not subject to further review under SEQA. And whereas the public hearing was held on October 17th, 2017, to assist the village consideration of adoption of the local law, and the public hearing was closed that same night. And whereas the village board has considered the matters that were discussed at the public hearing and wishes to proceed with the adoption of the proposed local law, now therefore be it hereby resolved that the village board, the Village of Washingtonville, hereby adopts said local law number 6 of 2017, entitled a local law creating Chapter 163 of the Village